I saw this story in a couple different places, and it's kind of grisly. And unfortunately, it's not the first time it's happened. In fact, it may not even be the first time in the Demm report. But a lot of people will donate their bodies to science, to help medical students of tomorrow. Harvard Medical School, heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
Harvard is now apologizing to family members and loved ones who have donated their loved ones and their bodies to Harvard because someone who was running the morgue was stealing and selling body parts.
Disgusting.
Harvard.
Disgusting.
Fair Harvard. His name is Cedric Lodge. He used to run the morgue at Harvard Medical School. Allegedly, he would let buyers come into the premises, look over the merchandise, say, give me 2 skulls, give me a leg, give me this and that. And then he would steal them late at night.
Yep. And sell them.
And sell them and then mail them through the U.S. mail.
And who's in the market for a skull or whatever?
That's a great question. Apparently he had I think there were at least two buyers. One caught my eye. She ran a store in Pennsylvania called Cat's Creepy Creations. She spent close to $40,000 on body parts. Her store sells horror-themed oddities, she calls it. I mean, if you go to Halloween Plus or Halloween Express, that stuff's just plastic.
Of course, right. Yeah.
So I don't know what this is. And she says these are, they would sell human skulls. In fact, one of her social media posts read, "If you're in the market for human bones, hit me up."
I got them.
But bones is the only thing you could harvest from that, yeah? I mean, what are you going to do with muscle from a leg?
Brains, bones, skin, you name it.
Well,
he was selling all of it.
Now, skin for a creepy collectible, you can make a lampshade out of skin.
Oh, that's from...
as a skin expert.
Is that from Lambs?
Yeah, all those things. Yeah.
Is that Lamsey?
Yeah, that's Lamsey.
That's Lamsey.
And also that show, American Horror Story. They made skin. Yeah. Everything was made out of human skin, or a lot of it was. But so if you donate your body to science, I'm sure the family members are just outraged by this.
Of course.
So if you donate to science and you wind up as a skull as somebody's Halloween decoration,
I'd be a little honored.
I mean, I'd be mad as the family member left behind. I wonder if the person who donated to science, they probably would care because they do want to help the future generation.
Yeah, and the rules, I'm 99% certain that the rules are at the end of every semester, like that year's class of students has a ceremony thanking the people who donated their bodies because they're helping them get their degrees.
Yeah,
they're either cremated or I think they're mostly cremated.
Well, there you are.
Once they're done helping the students.
I mean, it's horrible. And Harvard is the most reputable place there is for something like that. Look what happens.
What's a number out of 1,000 corpse?
Yeah.
A 1 that gets donated to science?
That's my guess. Yeah.
Maybe.
Almost everybody goes to, the family and they are buried or cremated and there's a ceremony and all that.
Even in my afterlife, I'd be embarrassed to be laying out there on a slab for a bit.
Oh, I know. I don't want people looking at my genitals. No, my genitals.
Now this guy, look at him
doing that.
Well, and I'm sorry. I think if anyone, I know they're professionals, but you're also a human being. And I think if they were being honest, anyone who works in the field of preserving bodies.
Yeah.
I bet if you see a really big one or a really small one, you're still like, dang.
Of course. And
well, I have we have a friend who he's a doctor, dermatologist by trade, but when you go through medical school, you have to do what they call all the rounds. You have to do a section of pediatrics and OBGYN, all that stuff. And he said it does not take long and you're just bored. Bodies are just bodies.
Yeah, they do say that. When I had my
It's just a body.
When I had my rejuvenation done for my
man part
erections.
Oh yes,
we're adults here. We say it right. I mean that's a thing where
it's very intimate.
It's intimate, and the person doing mine said, "I've seen a million of these things. Don't worry about it."
Next.
Yeah, but that's not you think.
But I shaved it up, tried to get it just looking real good.
Listen, I'm going to be vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah.
I was in there for one reason. I had too much fluid.
Yeah.
The only way to get rid of that fluid,
pee it out. Yeah.
And the way it's done is, I was worried they were going to put a catheter in me. They
Horrible.
Said, no.
I assumed that they had.
No, that's not it. What they do is they take this almost condom-like thing and just wrap it up, tie it around your junk.
Yeah.
And then it's
all the way
like,
up the shaft?
As far as they can get it. Because they want it on there tight. And then it's almost there's a suction thing that you just pee and
Yeah.
it just puts it into it's magnificent.
Turn it up.
All of it sounds slightly familiar, but not.
But it's not like what you're thinking when I say suction type thing.
Okay. Well, forget it.
Yeah. Never mind.
It goes to yeah.
Did it look like a flashlight? Because that's the one.
Room 17 is coding again.
Yeah, his blood pressure goes through the roof.
Believe me.
About every 4 to 5 hours.
I wish, but it's just a little tube that's on the end of this thing.
All right.
What gets wrapped around you, though, is almost like a condom. And there's never been. I honestly think mine was trying to run and hide.
Your tech?
Oh, you're
When my
his junk.
when they were trying to put it, they were trying to put it on.
Both.
Yeah, I meant the human.
No.
I felt bad for her.
I knew what you meant.
Both of them.
He's being vulnerable.
I'm being vulnerable.
Like a frightened turtle.
I've come out of my shell. I blocked this out, but
Yeah.
but it was so embarrassing because there's two of them there, and both are attractive.
Tex or junk?
I wish I had two drunks.
Tex.
There's two Tex.
What?
And like a scene from a movie,
It's
both
so big.
are attractive.
It's like a possum's penis.
It's so big, it's continued on the second one.
And it is like a scene from a movie. Both are attractive, but they're so removed. They're so used to this.
Right.
Yep.
They're just like spread your legs.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And it's like they're like glove up. Let's do this.
Yeah, they
And
don't
they're just down there doing work. But it was so embarrassing.
Well, it's work.
And it's
I
like
know.
I could actively feel my penis retreating.
Yes.
Like
Running.
running away because it
Right.
was so embarrassing to have this done. And then, but they get it in place and they're like, all right, let's try it out, pee. And I'm like, I don't, okay.
Yeah,
I can't do it on command.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, it works.
Listen, when I was having my work done for my erections, she's doing the procedure. Now they're rubbing like
Are you pantsless?
well down around my ankles.
Are you
strapping
in a
you in?
gown?
There's a gown on, but it's total. I mean, she's on.
You're exposed.
It's
What's the gown for?
Right, exactly. And she's rubbing like a gel on it.
Astroglide.
Something of this. I mean, it was a warming
Smell
gel.
like strawberries.
Yeah. And of course, I start
Flavored?
I go the other direction. I start to become aroused.
Oh,
you
wow,
know?
yeah.
And I say, I am so sorry about this. She said, don't worry about it, honey. And she's
It's
like,
fine. I don't work here.
you know,
What? Oh yeah, this is just my kind of my thing.
this is my side hustle.
Yeah.
I come in to clean up. I don't usually come in here till 7 o'clock.
Trouble's on the line. She knows
Uh-oh,
something about
more
this.
trouble.
Trouble, go ahead.
Hey, I love coming in behind
know.
penis talk.
I know. Go ahead. You wanted to comment on this too, on the body parts being sold out of Harvard. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a good friend here just in Greensboro that she trains dogs for search and rescue and remains detection, and they get body parts all the time to work with.
Aha. That makes sense.
interesting.
I
That
was
makes
wondering who it would be that would be buying that. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Thanks,
Yeah.
Trouble.
But
That's
they're
right.
reputable. You would
Yeah.
think.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Man, this weirdo Halloween company. I don't
Yeah,
like that.
man.
No.
There goes Trouble. I like
There
it.
goes
It's
Trouble.
always good to hear from Trouble.
It is.
He's good.
It is.
In small doses.
Yeah.
And finally, we go back to tipping and restaurants. We take you to a Mexican restaurant in California that's in big trouble with the government for taking advantage of their employees. The Department of Labor has ordered the managing company of Taqueria Garibaldi to pay about $140,000 in back wages, back tips, and damages to the workers. The list of violations, you can probably imagine many of them. Employees would work more than 40 hours a week, but they were not paid overtime for hours over 40. Managers were dipping into the tip pool, which is supposed to go to the servers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the company fired at least one worker who complained about working conditions. And this, when you talk about restaurants and the food service industry, there's almost nothing new under the sun. But this is the first I've heard of this. The Taqueria hired a priest who would visit the Taqueria during business hours so he could hear confessions from employees so they could get their sins out.
What?
Like, tell me, son, have you stolen?
Stolen from, yeah. That's
Have you
right.
ever been late for work? Do you have bad intentions about your bosses? They would have to confess to this person they assumed was a priest.
Yeah, right.
And 35
Man.
different people are going to get the payout. So
God, what a weird,
I know.
what a horrible thing that is. Jeez. That body parts thing, too, man. That's terrible. Terrible.